back early on in my spiritual journey, I was feeling a connection to my spirit guides as the more I meditated every single day, made a consistent routine of it, I started kind of feeling their presence around me, and I noticed like almost like silhouette figures of them, and I had connected to each of their essences and I knew I could tell who was who. So I had like an assortment of guides that I was getting familiar with. And now I don't always know like who's guiding me. I trust in the guidance that I get, but then I was trying to really identify who's who and what's what. So, and I'm sure like, and I do connect with guides and know specifically who I'm seeing and what the message is if I need to know. But a lot of the time I just know and trust that it's there, and I don't have to like label it. But it was like 15 years ago, and I was very curious to like get in there and get that kind of confirmation. So I had this experience where all of them came to fruition in a tangible, real world way. Like they dropped signs that were very clear and direct, in other words, in the course of a week. It was really, really cool. So I was online to pick up my kid at school, like, pick up. So I was standing online with my Reiki magazine, and I turned the page to the next thing, and there was a huge picture of Padre Pio. And Padre Pio I had already established as being one of my guides. It stopped me in my tracks that it was so bold. It was just this whole picture of his face was just like right there. So I was like, wow, I already knew I had Padre Pio with me, but now I really know. Then I think like the next day we went to a fire safety thing. They do that a lot of times with kindergartners, at least in New Jersey, where it's a fire safety something, and then you go to the firehouse and there's a whole family night or something. So we were at this event, and I'm walking through, I think there was like food on the counter or something, and I looked up and there was a picture of Father Michael Judge, who I also was associating as one of my guides. I have a strong Franciscan connection. Yes, I was raised in a Catholic home with the Catholic like programming or like the cast of characters. But I also had my own connection to the Franciscans when I was like in 5th grade. I had to write a report, a biography, and I chose St. Francis. And it was really pivotal for me, and I ended up wanting to feed the homeless that year. We made cookies for the homeless, and we handed them out in New York. Like I asked my mom if we could do that, inspired by St. Francis' generosity. So that was so Father Michael Judge is a Franciscan, and so is Padre Pio. Father Michael Judge was the first death of 9/11. He was, I forget what the name, but he worked with the fire company, the first fire company that responded to 9/11. And then later that week was like my 10-year wedding anniversary, and me and my husband ended up going into the city for overnight, which was a big deal. And we went to the Rubin Museum, and while we were there, we passed by this statue of, he looked almost like a scribe. He was like like that kind of a body from like old ancient art. Like they usually had like soft bellies. But he was like a Buddha-like guy, but he wasn't Buddha. And he was just, I was like, I recognized him from my meditations. And I was like, this is the guy I know from my meditations. And I read who it was, and it just said Master of Meditation. Because he was guiding me and helping me to connect with like the meditation practice. So it was really kind of cool. I don't remember, there's no other noteworthy stories, but there was like St. Francis was there, St. Clare and St. Teresa. Those were other characters. So yeah, there was a lot of Catholic and Franciscan kind of vibes going on, but also that master meditation guy who was like from a Buddhist lineage or I think it was Buddhist. But yeah, so I just thought it was really cool how they'll make themselves known when they need to be known. And it won't be coincidental if you just come across an article or a story or an image or whatever of different ascended masters or different guides that are working with you. So yeah, just pay attention and see, and like you might have something all happen all at once where you're just like, holy shit, like I'm getting so much validation like in a short period of time. But just to let you know that like, yeah, they are with you, so that they will drop some kind of tangible sign in your path to confirm, no, you're not crazy.